Hello everybody, welcome back to Outdoors with Ellie and D. Just wanted to do a little update on our September elk hunt. I've been putting it off for a while. Have been super motivated to make a video about this. It wasn't a good season. We did not get an elk. We didn't come close to getting an elk. No shots. We were there the first 2 weeks of the season. The season in Oregon here is a month long. We were there for the first 2 weeks. Sometimes the first 2 weeks are super hot, really good. Sometimes it's the last 2 weeks. In my experience, I believe that the first 2 weeks are better. That's just my opinion. But the first 2 weeks it was super hot where we were at. It was about 90 degrees, which at that altitude is really hot for being that high. That really didn't have a whole lot to do with it. I mean, it didn't help. It made everything really hard to sneak around in. It's like walking on popcorn. And it would help keep the animals, the ones that were around, bedded down all day. But I think the bigger issue is the predators. Big surprise being here in Oregon. The area where we usually put our tree stands looked like everything had been pushed out of there. We found that out after hunting there a few days. I had a little bit of an inkling about that the very first evening we went up to put, afternoon and the evening we would put our tree stands up. I don't think I've ever not at least spooked some elk coming in or out of there. And we didn't hear anything in the first few days, and I knew something was going on. We did run into some people that camping in the same area we camp in that I've gotten to know over the years, and he did show me a video of a calf elk that had been killed just over the top of the hill from where we usually put our tree stands, that had its neck broke, which to me says had been taken down by a cougar and then possibly pushed off of the kill by a bear or some wolves that may be in the area. Nobody was seeing anything. I noticed after the first week a ton of people left and went home to maybe return a few weeks later in the season to see if it got any better, or maybe they were out of vacation, I don't know, but a lot of people left. I can honestly say I didn't hear or talk to anybody who had wounded one this year. I know I talked about a lot about that in my previous video about the heavy arrow setup. There has to be animals there for you to shoot at, or anybody to get, in order to have somebody tell you, oh, by the way, I hit one and I couldn't find it. Didn't run into that this year because nobody was shooting at anything. We did have to sprout out a little bit further from where we usually hunt. You did go down the road. There's some other areas where I've rented elk in the past, and we did hit those areas, and we did see some elk. So I am going to make a little short video here. It's not much better than the one we made the year before. There's no shots at anything. There's only a few elk on there. And it was the very first morning we went out. We rented elk about 5 times, and I thought the hunt was going to be pretty good, but it didn't turn out that way. That's public land hunting for you, especially here in Oregon. It just keeps getting worse and worse, and the fishing game here in Oregon couldn't manage their way out of a wet paper bag. They keep selling the tags though, because it makes them money. All of our money for licenses and everything in this state going to the general fund, the general slush fund, instead of going towards just managing our game. So they'll keep selling the tags. They know nobody's going to get not very many people are going to get an animal. They'll keep selling you tags though. But the hunting in Oregon here just keeps getting worse and worse. That's the worst year I've ever had in Eastern Oregon by far. Only saw a few deer, didn't see any bucks. Saw very few elk. Like I said, I do have to admit, it did start to pick up just a little bit the end of the second week we were there. Looked like maybe some of the elk had tried to kind of started to filter back into the area where we typically hunt with our tree stands. What we typically like to do is I like to hunt on the ground in the morning, and then I like to hunt in a tree stand in the evening. And I did talk to some people who had come back near the end there, and they did see a couple of elk on that side of the mountain. So they might have started filtering back in. We only saw 2 bulls, and that first morning, my son Devin saw just the antlers of one going through the trees. When they were caught back up with again, never saw it again. Didn't hear any bugles. And then we also saw one on the second week, a few days before we left. We saw a big, really nice bull standing in the middle of the road on our way back to camp. Of course, after dark. So that was all we saw for bulls. Anyways, saw some cows, saw a few deer. I got those on the video. At any rate, that's, like I said, that's public land hunting in a state that doesn't manage for their game. They just like to be money collectors and just keep letting the predators proliferate and keep putting more of them out there. With the wolves. It's the way it is. So enjoy the video. It's not going to be very long, and right now we're getting ready for the late archery deer season, so hopefully that goes better. And I've also already started making video for that, so stay tuned and enjoy the video. Thanks. Hi-oh.
Good thing there's no bear.
That's a good start. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Outdoors with Ellie and Dee. There's no Ellie, it's just me and my son Devin. We are in elk camp. This is our first morning. We did get here last night. We threw the camp up and were able to go out for a couple hours. We didn't see anything. But this is the first time we're going to get the video out. We're going to go up this afternoon. It's about noon now. We wait till the middle of the day. We're going to go put up our tree stands. We got them all on our packs here, and we're going to head up the hill and go put those up and do a little filming. So stay tuned. Do you have anything to add?
It's going to be fun.
Yay.
Not really.
Not really. The packs aren't light. We're at day 2. We haven't seen any elk yet. I don't think we think something different's going on here. We haven't seen any elk yet this last couple of days. Like I said, this is day 2. We're gonna try an area a little different down the road. See if we can't find some. Stay tuned.
So we followed 3 cows this morning. We saw those on the video. We lost them. We think they winded us after we got over the top of the hill. We cut to the left, and Devin saw some antlers going through the trees. He saw a bull. We tried catching up to him. Didn't see him again. We went a little bit further after that, and it was about 9 o'clock. We came up to another patch of timber, and we jumped our herd. And we didn't see any of them. And not much further after that, we're heading back to the truck. And we jumped another herd. We think it might have been the same one. It looked like there's about 8 cows in it. They were in this thick stuff over here, which I've never seen them in. It's not thick, but it's a lot of thin lodgepole. I've never seen them come out of that stuff before. So, our first morning hunt, and we saw elk, which is good because we haven't seen any in the area over by our camp where our tree stands are at yet. We haven't heard anything, we haven't seen anything over there yet, so it was kind of discouraging, but we sure saw quite a few elk this morning. So we're gonna head back to camp, and then we'll head out to our tree stands this evening. Hopefully we'll see something. What do you think, Jess?
Should.
Alright, to be continued. Evening number 3 in the tree. Haven't seen anything from our tree stands yet. Hopefully tonight we will. Stay tuned. Day 6 in the stand. Starting to rain. You can hear the thunder and lightning, or just the thunder. Hopefully there's no lightning. She's just under 50 yards. The only damn thing we saw today